Hello and welcome to our Pardon the Interruption segment where we have Cameron and Chase, and today they'll be debating which team is better, the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's start off with you, Cameron. What's your point?
I honestly think the Dallas Cowboys are the better team here because, well, I know Dak had an off year last year, but with this new play calling system that Mike McCarthy has, Kellen Moore left to go to LA, but Mike McCarthy, who is more lenient towards the passing game, I think he can help Dak improve on his passing game when he had some 15 interceptions last year. I think Dak will lower those numbers and raise the numbers in the touchdown column.
I can see how Dak, people think, oh, it's not that bad of a year, but you look at his stats. I mean, his best year 4 years ago, 2019, and Jalen Hurts just came off only his second year.
Yeah.
And it's not only his second year, but he took that team to the Super Bowl, and now you can arguably say they got better on a cheaper payroll.
Yes, yeah, but look at the I'm going to move away from the offensive standpoint here and move into the defensive standpoint where Micah Parsons and this Cowboys defense is only getting better with time.
Yeah, but so is the Eagles. I mean, you can see this team, they're building around, they lost part of their linebacking core, but they're building it back up. They're bringing in the Georgia guys. They just won a national championship. They've brought in Carter. He had a dodgy offseason, but, he got drafted top 10. I think that shows that, he's going to be a starter. You have Fletcher Cox, he's coming off another good season. He's for sure going to be a Hall of Famer. You've got Avonte Maddox. You've got Darius Slay. You lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who arguably was one of the worst. So I could say that on the defense, you could say that the team got better.
All right, yes, but moving to the receiving core here, Cowboys already have two great receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. They added T.Y. Hilton, and in this past year, they added Brandon Cooks. So I think this is just an elite squad for the receiving core that Dak can work with here to improve on his game. And I think that all ties back to Dak and how he's going to improve, which is ultimately going to make the team better and more fit for the playoffs, which they've had trouble on in the past.
But that's why I think the team is going to be worse. Dak Prescott, I don't think he's the guy. I really don't.
Dak is going to have his best year this year. It's going to happen this year.
But I've heard that over and over again. Yet he's been injured 2 years in a row now. It's been a thumb problem. It's been against the Bucs both times. They get there.
And he beat the Bucs in the wild. He blew the Bucs out in the wild card.
But the wild card round. I mean, that game,
he had a great game in the wild card.
It was against a
multiple touchdowns.
Defense.
Yes, but he still had a good game. And I really like the team that Dallas is building around him. I think now because we know Kellen Moore was more into the run game. He liked to run the ball more. Now Zeke's gone. Tony Pollard is possibly in his last year. And Dallas picked up Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State. So I think moving into a passing approach here is going to help Dallas improve Dak. I really think it is, because now Dak can focus more on the passing game when he really had to focus more on the run game last year, because that's what Dallas liked to run.
But I would argue that the Eagles don't need to focus on either. I think they're good enough with both, and I think that Dak, once again, it doesn't matter what he has around him. All that matters is him. I mean, we've shown, Amari Cooper was once on the team. He didn't do great. They barely made the playoffs. They did it, once with him, once or twice. They added CeeDee Lamb, who's shown up and then just falls apart. And, I didn't hear his name once in the divisional round game. Whereas the Eagles, they had A.J. Brown throughout the entire thing. They had Devonta Smith showing up as well.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Thank you for tuning in to the Pardon the Interruption segment where we had Chase and Cameron and Chase. And I hope you enjoyed it. And who knows, maybe the Dallas Cowboys may pull out and maybe make it to the Super Bowl. Or maybe the Eagles will return back for the second time. Thank you.